Hello, and welcome back to A Better World. This is your host, Mitchell J. Rabin, and we're very glad you're joining us again today. Today we're going to have another very interesting show. We have two lovely guests with us, Deva Premal and Miten. They were in New York recently, performing at Cyanide House. It was sponsored by B Yoga, and they gave us a beautiful concert. And really, it was more than a concert. It was by no means any ordinary concert. It was a time of creating a spiritual space where everyone was participating. They engaged the audience to sing with them, and there was really a beautiful scaffolding of sound that emerged from that space because of the way they conduct their concerts. So we're very glad to have you on today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been traveling the world for now at this point some years, right? And you've recorded like 9 or 10 CDs. You've been playing together for about 12 years and loving each other, because that's obvious. It comes through with the music magnificently. Yeah. What originally, Premal, kind of inspired you to go in this direction as a musician?
I mean, it just all happened, you know. There wasn't a decision, or it wasn't even
Or
a
one
wish,
you didn't know about?
You know, I didn't even wish for it. It's the most beautiful thing which happened, but it just all fell into place. First I met Miten, and I wasn't singing then, I wasn't a musician then. I just fell in love with him as a person, as the beautiful person he is.
That's a good
And,
reason to fall in love with somebody.
And
Keep talking.
and I mean, I have a kind of a musical background with my mother being a musician and my father being a drummer, so it's kind of in my blood, and it's in my childhood. I had lessons with violin and piano and stuff. But it was I wasn't exceptionally great at it or anything, you know. But I had a musical ear. Yeah. And then when I fell in love with Miten, I thought maybe we could sing together, you know, because I knew I could somehow hold a tune. That much I knew.
Right.
But
Hold a bhajan.
We actually fell in love in an ashram. The music is born out of spirituality and our connection with the divine. So we never played anywhere other than in an ashram. Well, before, I was a rock and roll musician for many years before then. But I'd stopped playing music for many
British
years.
rock and roll, eh?
British rock and British
Yes.
rock and roll, yeah. Well, it's a long time ago. I've forgotten most of it, fortunately. But the mantras came purely out of a space of devotion to our master, and we eventually left India and started to share it in the West, and it just kind of organically grew into what you saw the other night. It's never ever been a performance. It's never been a decision. Let's make music to be famous, or let's make music to do whatever you saw the other night. It's only for us, it's a very organic procedure. It's actually, we like to call it tantra, you know, with clothes on. You know, we just sit there and we just share our love and our connection to the divine through the music.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
Well, that much was really clear, actually. It really
That's
came
all
through.
we have, you know.
Yeah, it's true. What master, if I may ask?
Osho, Rajneesh,
Oh, yes. Oh,
the
yes.
sex guru.
Yes. I wanted to go there for all the fun.
Well, you know, I mean, I know there was some interest in publicity, but after 20 odd years of his meditations and his guidance, I can only be totally grateful for what he gave us. Premal was doing his meditations at 11 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, she's been meditating forever. When we met,
The chaotic meditation?
also, yeah.
Yeah.
I did that many years ago in graduate school. No less.
Incredible.
I went to a pretty hip graduate school.
Very nice.
Yeah.
But it was designed for the Western mind, you know. It was designed to help
And
us
body.
to quieten, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, he was a interesting guy, and
God.
created a lot of waves, and I'll be always totally grateful to him. You know.
Yeah.
Like with any master, you know.
He is really an exception. You know, I mean, the other person that comes to mind who is from the East that mastered Western psychology, I feel, was Trungpa Rinpoche. Both of these men, Osho, Rajneesh, and Trungpa. I mean, Trungpa went to Oxford and
Yeah.
studied psychology, comparative religion, etc.,
Yeah.
and English.
Yeah.
And Osho just had this natural affinity
Yeah.
for the Western mind. I mean, he
Yeah.
just like got us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It just came through a lot.
Exactly. I think the difference is that Osho, he didn't have this lineage of the Tibetan teachings.
That's
he
right.
was basically making it up as he went along, and that was the beauty of it. You were always kept in the moment and challenged.
Yeah.
It was very amazing.
And yet at the same time, though, he had a tremendous amount of learning behind him.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it was really notable. I mean, talking about Kierkegaard and Schopenhauer, I mean, it was extraordinary.
Well, he could speak on Zen for a month and become a Zen master, and he could speak on Tantra the next month and become a Tantra master.
And he
and
could speak about the Heart Sutra.
Very good, very good.
I used to just love
The
listening
Heart
to
Sutra,
listen to the tapes, like when I drive, the Heart Sutra. I just loved his voice. It would just like permeate into your bones. So that's where you met in India, in Pune, and you, through love, you began singing, and your voice is so beautiful, Premal. It really is. You just hit these tones, and now I understand. If you've been doing chaotic meditation since you were 11,
Screaming.
There's no ego in Premal's voice. That's what touches so deeply. There's no ego there. It's born out of an ashram. She's never sung in a club. She's never sung because she wanted to make a career.
Right. Exactly. It was born of love and of spirit. I mean.
And also, it's really totally untrained.
Let me make sure to get this.
I discovered that your voice changes when you change inside. It's like a reflection of your inner being.
Yeah.
And I'm really terrible with technique, or I don't practice really, but I just always could feel my voice changing. Like, suddenly it would sound different. And the great thing is it goes both ways. Also when you work on your voice, you also change your insides. It's like it's really powerful.
Because they're not disconnected.
No, yeah.
Right. No, I know what you mean. Were you raised in the ashram?
No, not really. I mean, I became his disciple when I was 11, out of my own choice. But then I kept going to school. I was wearing the red clothes and the mala, with 11 years old.
Was this in Germany?
Yeah.
You must have been popular.
I don't know. No, I think everybody was too shy to ask me like
what it was about. Yeah.
And
people in Germany are very reserved,
I have to bring this.
There's a nice. I like actually to be in Germany because you don't get any hassle or vibes somehow. People are very much in their own space and respect that, and I like that. So I think that's what happens.
So it's sort of like a space of let be,
Yeah, that's what.
Kind of.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, despite what might be going on the inside, the outer is, they're not going to bother you, and you can just, wow. And so you were a rock musician, and yet I guess it was the spiritual life that brought forth this deeper wish to sing bhajans and chants and mantras.
Yeah. Basically, the music came back to me. I'd stopped playing music when I actually discovered meditation. It was not necessary anymore for me to justify my existence, through making music. So it was a gift for me not to play anymore and let that old life go and everything else that went with it. So it was like, for me, it was a rebirth. And when the music came back, it came back in a fresh and new and very innocent way, And I've been a songwriter forever, so the songs were bubbling up, and most of them were all of them were just songs of gratitude, And for the last 20 years, that's basically what I've been doing.
So you write the songs that you do,
all
of them, those that are not known bhajans.
Well, the bhajans we either compose ourselves the melodies and the chords and stuff, or we have friends who come in. We have some good musician friends, who bring in good melodies, and so we have a little family of Deva Premal support support people, you know.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful family.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, the sound of your voices too, and you will all have a chance to hear at the end of this show. They'll be doing a couple of songs for us. So the sound, there's this like golden blend that happens as I notice your color. It really is kind of a golden blend of the way your two voices relate. You know, you've got the, you know, it's like the masculine and the feminine energies are very powerful, but so complementary that it just creates this like another, you know, it's almost like giving birth in a way. It's like the male and the female coming together and creating a third being, you know, but it's all done on the level of sound. That was my experience in hearing and listening and being there, you know. As I say, unlike any concert or what have you, I was able to just kind of sit back and meditate and just totally ride the wave that you guys kind of started, you know.
Well, that's our healing, you know.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. We travel in so much, and we travel in like, at least for the last 10 years, around 10 months of the year we travel. You know?
10 months?
Yeah, 10 months of the year. And then we take a couple of months off, and then we're on the road again. And we've been doing that for 10 years. Now, the only way you can do that is if when you play the music, it's a healing, and it's a relaxation, you know? And that's what...
It's like a coming home,
it's
you know,
coming
because
home.
you just feel at home. And it's also so beautiful because you really meet people on a deep level.
Yeah.
And not only with it, you know, like you were there, we always invite everyone to sing. But then also people come and meet us, you know, after the concert, and you meet all these beautiful people, and you hug, and it's just such a family feeling, you know. It's really so beautiful.
Yeah, you created that atmosphere, and people meet you. They go the other distance, so you've got a happy family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of Woodstock.
That's right,
loving
revisited,
situation.
right? Wherever you go, wherever you play.
But it's part of it's part of our nourishment, that interval. You know, we never want to leave the stage, or we never want to leave the place. We just hang out there with people so we can connect and meet afterwards. It's not, we're not interested in performing, you know, or creating a performance, or
that kind of energy.
because then the pressure's off. You know, like if you remember the concert the other night, there was a couple of mistakes on one of the pieces, but it didn't faze anybody or anything. It's not.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, and that's really comfortable, you know.
You basically said, "I'm lost." That was just. It was actually so beautiful because it showed some of the internal workings. You know, some of the mechanics. Like, wait a minute, I've really got to be with where I am. You know, I have to be really present and know where I'm going musically. It was a very
And
beautiful.
Miten's got a song with a line in it, "I've got the courage to be wrong." And that gives us a lot of freedom, you know, when you've got the courage to be wrong, there's no problem, you know.
Exactly. Isn't it interesting when people just tell the truth what happens? It's wild. God, I wish we knew that more collectively, you know, as an ordinary, just a piece of reality, you know. Now, you've been traveling around and also performing with or for such people as His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama.
What was that like?
That was phenomenal, wasn't it?
That was just
amazing.
this past week in New York?
It was 2 years. Well, we've played now for him twice. And the first time was the most intimate. It was at a conference for scientists and religious leaders. And there was a very intimate gathering.
Was that in Colorado?
In Munich, in Germany.
Oh, in Munich. Okay.
And there was an intimate pre-conference gathering of the 15 scientists and Dalai Lama.
Tantric?
Different.
I'm playing with you.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, there was questions to His Holiness regarding his spiritual practices, but mainly it was just talking about their field. And there was some far-out scientists.
It's like looking at the relationship of quantum physics, basically,
Absolutely.
to religion and spirituality, and the confluence coming therein. I love it.
And we were invited in that situation to just play a mantra for him. We were playing the concert in the evening for the evening gathering, but this pre-conference was an intimate time for where we could meet him and play his favorite mantra for him, Om Tade Tu Tade, which was it was just an amazing gift, wasn't it?
Wow.
It was very special, and it was also very ordinary.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those, because he has this kind of warrior quality as well as the childlike innocence. You know, you feel he's very present and very strong and clear, but also he's very easy and relaxed and, you know, loving, and like this compassion, you just feel it so strong. And I was a little kind of nervous in the beginning, I must admit, just, you know, also kind of cold start, you know, just suddenly you're there and standing in front of him.
Yeah.
And but then we very quickly, it was just the silence in the room.
It was magic. We explained to him that we wanted to sing his favorite mantra, and he's very good, you know. And then we started to sing.
That's your Indian accent, not your Tibetan.
No, I'm sorry. My Tibetan's not so good as my
Not to worry.
My
Not to
Indian
worry.
is really worse than my English. But as soon as Premal sang Om, this beginning of the mantra, there was a hush in the room, and it was just a sacred, beautiful silence. And we sang the mantra, and then when we finished, the television cameras, the interpreters, the scientists, everybody was in a space of just silence, and we just let it be there until he said, "Very good, beautiful, beautiful." He didn't say very good, but he said, "Beautiful."
Yeah.
It was a very special moment we'll never forget.
Yeah, sure. What a great honor to do that for him, in his language, no less, basically. You know? In the larger sense, you know.
We've
What's
met
so meaningful to him?
I think so, because it was apparently it's his favorite mantra, and people were asked to sing it for him when he went into hospital in India a year or so before, for his healing. So we knew it was a special mantra for him.
Yeah.
But it's part of the journey we've met and played for many amazing people in our life, and such as who?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the people that come to mind, I don't know, Eckhart Tolle is one of our favorite philosophers and teachers, and
Myself as well.
yeah, he came to a concert of ours in Munich and in Hamburg in Germany, and so we ended up connecting with him and hanging out in the dressing room, and now we're going to do a retreat with him and play for his retreat, and
Really?
Ramesh Balsakar also we played for, and even Cher.
Wow.
No, we didn't play for.
You played for
We
Cher?
didn't.
Cher's the other end of the spectrum, but Cher recorded one of our mantras, the Gayatri mantra. And
She loves to do yoga to one of our CDs called The Essence.
Oh, really?
It's her favorite CD to do yoga to. And then the Gayatri mantra touched her so much that she wanted to include it in her tour, which she just did. It was called a farewell tour.
Wow.
And so she's been singing this Gayatri in our version to these, 10,000 people every night, blessing the hall. It's just so precious that it goes out.
Interesting. Do you think she has any idea?
yes,
Yeah?
I do.
I mean,
really
did
think
you
she
explain it to her?
She knows. She's not stupid, Cher.
No.
She knows. No, she
But the
knows.
Gayatri mantra is a very specific thing.
But I think, I really think she knew what she was doing, and that's why I was saying to you, that I feel like we were in tears, because we looked around this arena of 10,000 people, and Cher's singing the Gayatri mantra, come on, that's amazing.
Exactly.
I'm like, Cher, thank you. And even if the people don't know what they're getting, it was resonating.
It's subliminal,
it doesn't matter.
absolutely, no matter what. It's just kind of funny. I'm just listening to this story and I'm thinking, if somebody had told us 20 years ago that this would be happening, that Cher would be singing, the Gayatri Mantra to thousands and thousands of people, we'd say, I don't think so. That's really unlikely.
I also,
come off that drug.
I want to tell you that when she finished the Gayatri, the next song was "I Got You, Babe."
Perfect. It's perfect.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
So that's the way it goes, from
Yeah.
the sacred to the profane and
Yeah.
back to the sacred.
Yes.
Well, listen, it's been just a real joy to have you here and chatting with us about your lives and your music, and it's really beautiful. I mean, you're really helping to spiritualize the planet. You really are, and I have a chance now to say that I've witnessed it, I've been there, and I feel like just please keep going. There's a lot more we have to do,
All of us. Thank you, Mitch.
Truly, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So would you grace us with a mantra or a song or two?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
That'd be great.
Om Tare, Tu Tare, Tu Re, Swa. Om Tare, Tu Tare.
Not do it the way the new way, but I can just teach it to you fast. It goes. Go in there if you're going to do it like that. Guitar, you know, just have to, yeah. You can't do it that way. Okay, we do it the long way. It just.
I just don't get it.
Are you not? Are you running?
Yeah,
we can.
It's fine.
Okay, let me just try one more time. Let's try it one more time.
Why is it so much better?
Because it's not so. It just condenses it a little, you know. So we don't. I really think it's worth it. You just trust me. Just try one more time. Like, I'll be with you. Try again.
Why do you always have to do that?
What's that?
In public.
This is
This is not normal public.
It's good. You can.
This is
I can see what you